A very good evening to all of you in the last day of this 1 week faculty development program. Today we'll have two sessions by two different experts. The experts have already joined, and our honorable chief guest, Colonel Professor Rakesh Sharma sir, has also joined in. So I now request Professor Akanksha from Delhi University. She is the host for today. To please start the session. Over to you, Professor Akanksha.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, I'm Dr. Akanksha Khurana from Delhi University. Uh, our chief guest is Colonel Dr. Professor Rakesh Sharma. Colonel Professor Rakesh Sharma, sir, has 42 years of teaching experience. He has a dual PhD and have been awarded by the Army, IEEE, and IBM. He has successfully led teams to undertake various projects such as NBA, NAC accreditation of state universities and colleges, establishment of Jharkhand State Sports Promotion Council, and raising of Triple IT, Raksha Shakti University, and AIMS, among others. As an academic and admin leader, he has successfully led to admission campaigns by integrating ERP with meticulous CRM, resulting in an excellent enrollment outcome. I request our chief guest to now this that floor is yours, sir. You can take over and address all the participants. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. And what a great pleasure to be amongst the intellectual giants, all in the domain of modern technology, that is the AI era. I cannot say much, but much has been happening on the AI domain. Just like they say, all is fair in love and war. Similarly, I find this heading ethical and responsible AI compared to the same statement, all is fair in love, war, and AI. It is you as a user or a super AI chap how to exercise your AI power or prowess. You want to ameliorate these standards? Go ahead, full blast. And let us say you have a vindictive attitude or a base mind, then accordingly you use AI to destroy the mankind. Truly speaking, destroy the mankind, not the nations. And let us abide by the law, the diktats that two robots must never fight. The second law of robotics. Having stated this, I was watching for the last 15-20 days the range of topics that you have covered: ethical, AI, responsible AI, various challenges and opportunity. The field is very vast. I have been serving the army for 28 years in the Corps of Signals, responsible for communication, telecom, computers, cybersecurity, and let us say also the latest electronic warfare or the troposcatter warfare. Having stated this, please ensure that I will not give you theoretical lecture. I will give you a hands-on view of what is happening in the latest AI domain so that you understand how far the reach of AI goes. Just give me a moment. I'll share the screen for the time being. As shown on the view file,
Yes, sir,
some
we can see your
sensational
screen.
application. Hello?
Yes, sir, it is visible. Please continue, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. In fact, I always get the spirit from my mentees, and the man you see dominating this conference, Dr. Amit, has been with me in Graphic Era University, and I don't know how I and what I did for him so that he passed out with distinction. And of course, today he's an icon in the domain of computer science. Now,
So you have done a lot, sir. I am where I am because of you.
no, I am
You,
so proud to see you safe and sound despite all those hectic warfare that happened. Very nice.
yes, sir,
Be
yes.
cheerful, and I'm sure you'll do proud to everyone.
Thank you very much,
Having
sir.
stated this, I'll continue with my topic, innovations in AI. Sensational application. These applications are beyond the realms of normal students or research scholars, and they have been implemented with force. Of course, all of you are aware what are the domains in which AI can be used, and this is not a list that is comprehensive. Research, DNA programming, ribonucleic acid programming to create a pseudo Rakesh or a duplicate Rakesh or whatever. DNA programming has been successful animals, and they are now progressing into human DNA programming. The second is healthcare. I will say healthcare with human machine interface. I quote you an example of our country, Uzbekistan. Let us say some serious medical condition go awry. The remote telemedicine by virtue of artificial robotics, uh, duly supported by specialists. Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. I request all
Oh,
participants to please be muted when sir is speaking. We'll have question answer, then only you have to unmute. Please keep muted.
okay. So healthcare, the specialist sitting in Delhi, All India Institute of Medical Science, or anywhere. And as since All India Institute of Medical Sciences name has come, we have one vacancy AI specialist in All India Institute of Medical Sciences who's also MBBS and MS. So you can imagine the importance of AI. Gaming, of course, you all know, and with gamings, I'll bring the robotics. Since most of us are from Coimbatore, another, just like Dr. Amir, I'll tell you, this guy was a good javelin thrower, famous athlete, but he was intelligent also. I tried my best to make him officer, junior commission officer, but somehow he was disinclined, and having shot the prime of age, he took to industrial entrepreneur. He started with a factory of resistances. Believe me, time passes, he kept abreast with the latest technology. Today, he's having a big industry in Coimbatore with mobile robotics. And this is a normal Havaldar of the army with my course, signals. So there you see from, let us say, 1 lakh to 20 lakh to a revenue of 800 crores. And a normal Havaldar, he's not even a technical graduate or a postgraduate, forget research scholar, no. So this is the entire application of robotics, and he's now for the DRDO applications as well. Defense. I will announce here that any technology, and I'll be shortly discussing, any technology that comes in or that is beneficial or that is tested or researched is researched with the defense people. How? You have the fire and forget missile. The first missile to be tested in India will be the defense people, be it the Air Force, Navy, Army, or why not DRDO, or any other research institutions. Defense Electronic and Applied Lab also in Dehradun. This area defense ranging from missiles. And missiles, these days they are electromagnetically controlled, fire and forget type, and all are, of course, AI based. I'll discuss in the next slide. Social media, all of you are using, all of us are using. Metascan is available on any application, social application, WhatsApp to LinkedIn to anything. You have Metascan for translation, you have Metascan for improving your draft, you have Metascan for so many other purposes. Social media is one of the major function where AI is being used, but at a level not expected of a research scholar. Entertainment. Most of the latest musical fads or vids are full of AI, comical screening, and so on and so forth. And still the research or the applications continue endlessly. Having stated this, another domain that we have is agriculture and education. I, sitting in Bukhara in the Uzbekistan region, I'm conversant with you. I can virtually see you all. And my application is going via whatever augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, mixed reality, etc., reaching you. Somewhere in streaming, etc., AI comes into being, and the important sector, agriculture, from pesticide spraying to spraying of seeds to looking after the weather forecast to anything, is AI based. AI is a misnomer. In fact, there are so many other things associated with AI. Last but not the least is the surveillance. Surveillance in the enemy area, of course. Earlier, we used to have a machan when the hunters go for hunting. They used to have an elevated observation post on a tree or some pole, etc. And they can use to see somewhere. Then towers became. Towers also, the range was limited. But then came the satellites. And satellites, the thermal imaging with the satellite, duly aided by artificial intelligence, one will know for sure, most of you know, all those who are students of electronics, computers, etc., that all of us have a specific signature. All computers too have a specific signatures. All mobile also have a specific signatures. And we as individual have so many physical signatures. One of them is the heat signature. And by virtue of heat signature, coupled with the AI, coupled with the surveillance, you can generate in the enemy area. So many tanks are there, so many manpower is there, so many administrative peoples are there. Virtual playfield is generated. Sunita Williams is stuck in the space, but she knows what is happening in NASA. Kind courtesy AI. She's surviving because of the AI benefit. Else, the fate would have been the same of Kalpana Chawla. So there is where, and NASA, of course, is an agency which is defense aided. So one can imagine the growth of the AI in days to come. Education, I forgot. I've been dealing with the education for the last 20 years. I was in Graphic Era University where Dr. Amir was there. And I was in Baddi University of Emerging Science and Technology. I was Goa Institute of so many. Then finally, I was with the government of Jharkhand as advisor to higher education. Now I am here with Uzbekistan to improve the lot of Uzbekistan as directed by the president of Uzbekistan to have IT sector replete with IT graduates. Not only IT graduates, our second requirement is to have IT industries here. Just like Bangalore is Silicon Valley of India, Bukhara is the Silicon Valley of Uzbekistan. And the hardest aspect here is they have made English compulsory. Now you imagine how I am conversing with the students is I write, what is your name? Use the Google Translator to converse in Uzbek language, and Ismingis, Nima, etc. comes in. I have to just rattle out in the form of ABC words that are coming in. It is all AI based. And you can imagine the number of languages that can be translated. Of course, again, it is an NLP programming, natural language programming, which I'm lucky to say was pioneered by my postmate, Dr. Rajiv Sangal. He was Dean Computer Science with IIT Kanpur. Then his final job was with the IIT Banaras. And after that, he is now serving the UGC as well as in a social work. So NLP these days has traveled miles and covering all aspects of human beings and of course the instruments, etc. With this in mind, I'll give you three. One is from electronic warfare. The second is from cryptography, which I taught Amir, and third one is from electronic warfare. Should you have any doubts, please shoot once I am concluded, or even while I am on, you can shoot your doubt. I'll surely quench it. This technology will be a surprise for you. The zenith of artificial intelligence technology, digital twin technology. I am sure the Coimbatore Institute of Technology and others, Delhi University and all must have heard of this name. But what it is, the entire physical system anywhere in the globe are converted into physical virtual reality based labs. Experts may not be available. I'll quote an example. Experts may not be available, but that lab comes to the ground with the expert. And here, expert removes the bottleneck and the machine carries on without any stoppage or blockage or grounding, etc. It is basically a virtual representation of physical object. You entirely see a ship engine being on your virtual screen. Like you must have seen during COVID days, we had convocations, all virtual enabled. There, the chancellor presents your degree, you are there on the stage, and you remove it on the screen. Nothing of this is visible. So it converts virtual representation of physical object, system, or process. And these virtual model, by virtue of simulation, monitoring, analysis, testing, embedded testing, will get you the desired results so that your machine is functional, your object is functional, your physical uh, parts are functional, whatever. Already you must have seen in the Paralympics, the virtually aided Divyangs prefer better than the Olympians. So that is the power of AI. We also have in India so many sprinters using AI-based legs or arms or robotic-based arms also. And the reactions are better than the individual arms. You can imagine your brain, by virtue of its prowess, has given a brain to a artificial intelligence system or the robotics. Now, this innovation is a massive innovation, massive. I'll give you two, three situations. You're flying in the air and your aircraft involves a rudder problem. Rudder or a fin? Rudder, you must have seen the front wings. Fins are those tail wings. And the machine on the flight is unable, or the pilot on the flight, the co-pilot on the flight is unable to mend it. Emergency signal or the SOS signal or very important message is flashed to the AI ground sensor. AI-based ground lab, Boeing 737 flight for whatever number it has, is unable to operate, or even landing wheels. I'll tell you about landing wheels also, is unable to operate. The ground-based artificial skilled engineer takes the entire machine, the console on his lap, which is on the ground. Once the console plane is flying, once the console is taken on the ground. Within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, with the aid of even the removal of the parts, etc., the thing is tested and run and sent to the flight backwards without the passenger or the pilot knowing anything. And the flight has a safe landing wherever you go. I was in Ladakh. So Ladakh, we have those big planes carrying loads of equipment, loads of food, and loads of animals also, and manpower, of course. Now, big, mighty big plane, by virtue of temperatures -20, -40 degrees centigrade, when we travel all the way from Delhi to Leh, by virtue of the temperature being -20, -40 or so, the wheels sometimes get jammed. What to do? Again, the Air Force Base with this AI lab ensures that some fraction of heat is supplied via ground console to the flight, and the wheels of the plane reopen and the people have a safe land. And each pilot flying to Ladakh gets a bounty of 1700 rupees per flight, because that is a limited runaway, and it goes via two hilltops which are very high. So if you dwindle, the entire plane goes for a toss. And there you also must have seen the helicopter at a height of 22,000 feet. Can't breathe. It can't fly. Again, the AI-based staff carries out its performance testing and provides the necessary input so that the wheels are not stopped. And the aircraft, even at a height of 22,000 feet, lands, because there are medical casualties and all that. So digital twin, again, I tell you, the latest technology is firstly acquired by defense, because they have so many things. You see, there have been, I will not boast here. India runs on defense. If I make a statement, a bridge is broken in Bombay, repaired by Army. ONGC proceeds on site, then operated by the Army. Any latest technical institution, etc., of the government, if has a problem, Army controls. Police also. Police, the moment it sees that it is beyond its control, it hands over the situation to the Army. And with minimum loss, etc., we are supported. Even agriculture, even natural disaster. Let me please point out any district magistrate or any collector who has done something in the disaster, except to go and speak to the victims or say hi and to the press and all. It is the Army. A boy gets into the bore well. Army uses his all AI technique, etc., drills a well, drills a side bore well, and prevents the boy or the man who has fallen into this dry bore. So the same analogy is applicable to submarines, and same analogy is applicable to ships. Same analogy is also applicable to the missiles. Missiles. What happens in missile? Missile has a electromagnetic wave. Missiles ride on electromagnetic wave. So first missile which was developed was a normal missile riding on an electromagnetic wave, sine waves. And it was given the grid reference, etc. Accordingly, it homes onto the target. Now, this missile, A missile, is riding on a frequency, let us say X. Then developed anti-missile. Anti-missile also riding on the same another frequency, but its target is a frequency X. So even with that missile on frequency X will home onto the target, this anti-missile at a faster speed will home onto its target, which is having a frequency X. All this is, you may think it is a fiction, but it happens. Then people came up with what you call anti-missile. It will destroy anti-missile. Anti-missile will destroy the single anti-missile. So this all happens in the AI labs, precisely programmed. And of course, I have no hesitation in telling whatever justice we have done in the domain of technology, it is kind courtesy our President, Professor APJ Kalam. He was the one who stated, in case an assistant professor has done his doctorate, please give him 10,000. And again, this was followed by most of the organization, including the army. In army, if you do post-graduation, you get 5,000 in addition over and above whatever you're paid, etc. And same case goes for the doctorates. And doctorates, he gave the UGC clear instruction, all doctorates would get 10,000 per month. Now it may have increased, I won't be knowing. Same happens for submarine, same happens for ship. So artificial intelligence in a big way with digital twin technology, you can imagine even a robot going wrong somewhere or his sensors not working will be rectified by the AI twin sitting somewhere else in the industry which manufactured that particular robot. This is perhaps the highest level. And I will grade this twin technology with the remote telemedicine where the same analogy is applied. The patient, let us say in my Bukhara, wants a special and urgent treatment, and we, via telemedicine circuit, we home on to the Delhi, let us say All India Institute of Medical Science. There, the specialist doctor with that AI specialist will ensure that his robot there in Delhi cures my man in Bukhara. So this is the importance of AI, and it is all constructive. It is not destructive. Destructive missile example is one, but then for destructive, they have made anti-missile to ensure anti-missile does not harm. They have made anti-missile. Somehow this war will stop. This missile, anti-anti, now you never know anti-missile. Just the case of, I'll discuss this later in the electronic warfare concept. So you can imagine digital twin technology playing a pivotal role in alleviating the mankind, the progress, and of course, easing the comfort. Now, don't say AI will create less jobs. No, it will be hard for a guy who's not AI conversant. He will be jobless, not someone who knows about AI, because ultimately it is you who are programming, who are into machine language, who program these modern technology giants like robots, like AI labs, virtual labs, even simulating lab, the cockpit, etc. If you see of the pilots, is simulated these days, and you have the same pressure chamber, same flying conditions modeled, and this simulation is by virtue of AI. Now we come to the next. This will also incite you. This has been my domain. While in signals, I did this course, electronic warfare, at Military College of Telecom Engineering, the premier uh, telecommunication university in the defense sector. And if you recollect, the most clean city is Mau or Indore, and the Military College of Telecom Engineering is located there. Now, what is electronic warfare? Electronic warfare is the use of electromagnetic spectrum to the advantage of yours, but to negate the advantages of your rival. Imagine two countries at war, and this was first practiced in the Vietnam War. Both the missiles were so planned through electronic warfare that they acquired the same frequency and they landed at the same time on a ship which was of the US, and the area was Falkland. That thing happened around 8 to 10 years ago. But then that was the first case of electronic warfare. Now, all of us are aware, each of us has individual signatures. Each of us also have electromagnetic, what you call attribute. Now, you all must have done, those who are students of electronic, they must have made those charts that antenna forward radiation, backward radiation, loops. The loops, bigger loops are meant for the area that is desired by you to be covered in communication. The backward loops where the radiation is limited is for the enemy. Now, electronic warfare is basically of two types, active warfare and passive warfare. I'll discuss the passive warfare, which all of us must have used. We play a mobile on a sound that is audible to the desired user or his group. We don't blast it so as to disturb the other people, other society members, etc., etc. And all of you are doing it in one way or the other, and you know what time, when you use this passive technique. Second, earlier we used to have antennas where there are forward lobes and backward lobes. So while I am sure most of the new graduates have not done the antenna drill, but in Army we are taught how to erect an antenna, how to design an antenna, how to calculate path profile, and after calculating the path profile, we see whether the see-through is achieved. Now, this in the enemy area, the backward lobe should be as minimum as possible. We rotate, and the moment we get a minimum back loop, we fix it. Then we decrease the radio strength. The moment the radio decrease strength is there, so the communication to the enemy area, to the backward loop, which are smaller compared to the forward loop, is minimized, and enemy cannot hear what is said. And I'll tell you an incident of the army. I was then a captain or a major. I was posted in Ladakh. And Ladakh is a very bad area, but God's area, in fact. That is the only place in the world which simultaneously a man can be afflicted with heat stroke as well as with chilblain. On top of it, we have those ozonized layer of the sun affecting our brain, causing heat stroke. And down below, we have sub-zero temperature whereby the skin becomes fragile and it starts chipping off. It also has less oxygen. So while in Ladakh, we were always wanting to know what is not, and all that. When is the GOC going on, General Officer Commanding going on leave? Why? Because when GOC goes on leave, the things become slightly simpler. How do we used to do? Physically, we used to do. That is, we had lines of communication. On this, we would insert the needles. And those line of communication were going to the GOC's residence. So we would know when the GOC is planning his leave. When GOC used to plan his leave, we never used to go on because it was as good as a holiday for us also. And likewise, there are many things to be told, but then another aspect, if you see, which is now taken over by AI, in Ladakh, because of this minus temperature, everything crashed even before you used. You touch a car, you get a shock. You touch a computer, it gets crashed. And any equipment, even to the extent if you touch a Jawan's hand or anyone, you have a shock. So the harder way we learned is touching anything in Ladakh, please touch the earth first so that static electricity is grounded, and then you touch the equipment. Otherwise, there were at least 30 to 35 new set of computers which crashed. Now, electronic warfare, I told you this. Then we have search, detect, intercept, and locate. These are all passive. We have orthogonal radar where we trace where the enemy is emitting. Firstly, why you want to break the command? Because you want to break the command so that the orders of your bosses are not disseminated to the subordinate troops. Once the orders are not disseminated, everything goes for a toss. A man is supposed to leave by 9 o'clock in the night. 4 o'clock, the order is supposed to be passed. If the net is jammed, orders are not passed, man will not leave. And it happened many a time in Indo-Sri Lanka when we went as Indian peacekeeping forces. So these are passive. Now, active. all must have heard, even this UGC has now started in examination hall what is known as jamming. You have a transponder, and the moment the exam starts, the transponders are switched on, and no other mobile, etc., can be homed onto it. Also, if you see attendance-based system, RFI, they are also used so that teacher is not bothered about attendance, manpower, etc. detail, know those logging hours, how many hours Rakesh was there, how many hours Akanksha was there, how many hours Amir was there, and all that. So now jamming also happens three types: slow jamming, medium jamming, and fast jamming. Now, as I say, slow jamming, it involves a huge amount to have jammers. And you are supposed to jam the commander's net or whatever. If the net is important, GOC, yes, why not? It will require more power, so more costly. Clear analog. So we have these jammers. Then jammer slow, the moment, let us say, someone knows about my jammer or about my net, I change the frequency. But that change is very slow. Then came the medium. Slow implies 15 minutes. Then came the medium jammers. They were around 5 to 10 based. And now you have super fast or fast, which are hardly a few seconds and based. This I will also see and I also tell in the RSA application in cybersecurity. Now, AI powered, you can imagine all these things. We have an electronic warfare cell in a division, in a brigade, in a battalion, in a unit, involving lots of manpower, lots of costly equipment, radars. Believe me, except for the radars, which are also on that minor dot radar, I'm forgetting its name, orthogonal radars, radiation based. It is just a simple 1 by 1 inch radar. And this is powered by AI model. AI model does all the things which I have described. It searches wherever the enemy is radiating. It intercepts. This is my enemy, this is my friend, and all that. Then it reports, it locates degree 55-degree north, 40 degrees south. This grid reference, 6-figure grid reference, automatically is gone to the console of AI. And accordingly, the jammers, by virtue of these AI models, AI systems, are activated. The commander's net of the adversary is jammed. Same case, vice versa. Let us say our own set is being jammed or something. These AI models, AI-powered electronic warfare systems will prevent our systems from being jammed. And these days, it is not the man who will win the war, but it is the electromagnetic spectrum controller who will win the war eventually. And that war, earlier it used to happen on the border. These days, it will happen at the Electronic Warfare Control Cell based in Army Headquarters, New Delhi, and its sub-elements located everywhere. All on virtual model, or you can say AI-powered electronic warfare models. So you can imagine the number of compass that we have. Earlier, I'll tell you one. I was in the communication system. We have a 1500 kilometers line on the Himalayas. And let us say night, 10 o'clock, the electrical line is faulty. Soldiers have to go at the very moment so that the communication is uninterrupted. So my soldier goes at 10 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night at a temperature of -10, -20, -30, even in Dras, it is -50, 60. And you can imagine his condition. He goes, climbs a pole and climbs a pole, sits on the bracket, and then tries to regulate the line. Now, because of this -60 degrees Celsius or so, what happens is the line gets snapped. The moment this line gets snapped, most of the time, his eye, which is near to that regulating wire, also gets out. So you can imagine the number of casualties we have. Then what we did was, in confabulation with the, and it is a real story. I was commanding that unit, communication unit in Ladakh. We spoke to the general manager, GMT, Jammu Kashmir region. He also, with his research team, applied. I was heading my defense research team. Then we came along an equipment which is known as International Maritime Satellite. International Maritime, all those who are great engineers and know this, International Maritime Satellite is an obsolete equipment working on BLF and was employed on ships. So, but actually, using my prowess, just to mention you, I've done both places. I was in IIT, I was in BITS Pilani, and we have the necessary brains to ensure that we transfer this technology into India, and from VLF, we make it to HF. And it was done, and then gone are those telephone lines which are 1500 kilometers. My Jawan in the forwardmost post, which is known as Tiger, at a height of 24 something feet, 24,000 feet plus, can now speak from that post to anywhere in the world on the village incentive scheme. Government has given us to the army under a special rate. So those Inmarsat which were lying obsolete in Japan, come to India. Now AI-powered embedment has taken place, and they are opening. The moment a fault happens, the AI model part system supports it, rectifies it, and without any break in communication, the things happen. And you see what is happening. You see the you see the warfare happening now between Iran, Israel, Russia, Ukraine. All these are the man behind the machine, that is AI-powered models are controlled. AI-powered model. Gone are the days hand-to-hand combat. We used to have a knife in front of our guns, etc. Gone are. It is now a AI-powered electronic warfare system. You do entire signal intelligence analysis. You know where there is a movement, lots of signal intelligence will come up. You know the enemy is coming. You know autonomous targeting with the help of AI systems, and automatically taken on the action expected by you as a defense officer. All AI. Imagine that army these days can have some moments with its mobile. Otherwise, 24/7, the moment I used to go after after my PT parade, I used to get a ring at 8 o'clock. Sir, that post line has snapped. There you are out. 24/7, it is on duty. Even on leave, we are on duty. Having stated this, another interesting thing to you and those who are into cybersecurity, and those who are on LinkedIn must have heard of Colonel Inderjeet Singh, who recently expired. He was a doyen of cybersecurity. The latest model, latest techniques, and I was also into it because the oldest unit which had this cybersecurity and all that, we had the Linux key, the cipher sheets, the toggling, and we used to also have a hammer and so that in case the secret documents are leaked out to the enemy, they should be destroyed by hammer. So these were all physical ciphers. We used to call the cipher section. Now, all of us must have heard of this RSA key, Rivet Chaman Adeline key. Now, what it is? And most of us, you all are good engineers, good managers, and you must have worked with Big Four. Big Four, that is, EY, KPMG, PwC, and all that. I was lucky in my last assignment as advisor to Government of Jharkhand, which was an offshoot of Bihar. I was made its advisor. And my company was Ernst and Young. I was advisor to the government of Jharkhand, but then this company was heading the PMU of EY. I was also the head of EY PMU in Jharkhand. Now, this EY company, an example, they have no password for you to remember. Their server has only one IP address of yours, and that is jotted down in the main server in EY headquarters, which is located in Delhi, PwC headquarters, which is located in Bangalore, and so on. So KPMG again in Delhi, and one more, I'm forgetting its name. All these big four. Server is known. So if a computer is given or a laptop is given by EY, only that laptop will you use. Firstly, your username can be anything. The moment you want to log on, password, in case your IP address is verified, password will be there automatically. And if you don't operate that password within 15 seconds, the password changes. So when I go, let us say when I left EY, I had to hand over my laptop. But before I hand over, this reverse Shamir Adelman key removed completely my mails that were connected with the EY. Mails and documents, PowerPoint presentation and all that. Now, all these four, they are all AI based. Now, these RSA key, if you have done cybersecurity course, what is RSA key? Your prime numbers should be as high as possible is the first fundamental concept of RSA key. How to find out? Use ChatGPT, you find out. Let me have the 5-digit prime number. It will give you, let me have 8-digit prime number. And the more digits the prime number is, the less it is susceptible to hacking. So these RSA keys bring into them no user interface, automatically server-based keys, and server automatically using these pseudo-random noise techniques changes these keys. Like if you play a housey, the new housey, which is AI based, is having pseudo-random number generation. Now, what all you can imagine, enhanced randomness, you have not to bother. I have used this password, I cannot use this one. All letters should be alphabetical, capital, small, number, percentage, and all that. Now you take time. Most of you are using digital economy these days. You take a time in password change in bank systems. Don't you feel you take at least 5 to 10 minutes? You enter your card details to verify first and all that. Now here it is random. He has already verified you. And if you have faulted, that means he is susceptible. And the speed and efficiency is no one's business. Within a matter of 5 seconds, 5 lakh people will be having their key password change. Because whenever you use your laptop, there is one password. It retains till the time you use it. The moment you close the session, another password is generated at a later time. And this generation is continuous. Speed and efficiency, I have no need to elaborate. The way you can have speed and efficiency is no one's business. Your brain has made the AI system so nice that your brain is less text and you are now available for research into higher research. Your brain is now free. Then security analysis. How many times, let us say Rakesh has misused the system or doubted the system or tested the system. All these benefits are accrued by virtue of AI system model in generating this RSA key. Imagine what would have happened had you been given the choice to first find out, let us say, 7-digit highest prime number. How much time would you have taken? You yourself know. We shake when we are asked to write down the prime numbers between 1 to 1000. And here you are, a random Shannon algorithm is used to generate this RSA key, and there you are within a matter of seconds, milliseconds, nanoseconds. So these are some of the latest attempts which I have told you in short, in detail, in no-based language. Last but not the least, if you say, you have hacked my system, it may be AI generation, it may be dual twin, it may be anything, electronic warfare, the system automatically kills itself. Or system commits suicide. That also you have programmed by virtue of a brain into an AI model. Robotics, you see, football tickets are to be issued. One window is lined up with lots of spectators. Another window is free. You have a AI-based model guiding you. Go to window number 4. Go to window number 7. Most of you have traveled to Dubai. You must have seen the various views. In fact, I will not boast. I have a son-in-law dealing with RayQ. He's the leading company of augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, Internet of Things. Just see their systems. And so many things, international competition. I tell you, since I am also a good player, during my time, my game was weightlifting. During my time, let us say I'm supposed to lift a weight of 70 kg during the practice session, and I'm lifting around 60, 65 kg. So what my physical therapist used to do, it used to, he or she used to give electronic impulses to the vein so that my vein is acclimatized to lift 70 kg. And not all attempts were successful. This is human. Then came the AI. This guy, Neeraj Chopra, his entire training schedule is AI based. This angle to shoot, you all have done physics. Parabolic equation at a 35-degree gives you the maximum range for a shot put, discus, hammer, anything, even for a bullet. If you see this, that general concept of physics, 35-degree parabolic maximum range and all that is not available for Neeraj training program. Based on his physiques, etc., you decipher what should be his training program so that the javelin goes at that particular angle where this guy with a height of this much, weight of this much, gets a momentum so that a javelin lands up very, very far. I was doing hammer throw. Again, physics. My rival was that famous Mahabharat character, Bhim. And his height was 6 feet 1 inches. I was just 5 feet 7 inches. However, best I played in Cuttack, I played in Kottayam, nationals. However, height was his, I could not defeat him. And if you remember physics, even that height matters in the parabolic equation. So I gave up and I took to an easier game, mv square by r, weightlifting, where the momentum decides and the height in case short decides how fast you can, with the mv square velocity, you lift the bar up to your chest and then jerk it up. Now, all these things are AI based. Be it Neeraj Chopra, be it Manu Bhaker, be it anyone. I am in a small country, a country which has a population less than Rajasthan. But believe me, in Uzbekistan, AI into sports is so much that this small country of 5 crore people have 11 Olympic gold medals. And you should see their AI enabled what you call labs for physical education. And these guys, imagine out of 5 crore, 11 Olympic gold medals, 5 in boxing alone. So the punches matter, the momentum, the angle, the shoot, etc. You should arrange is based on your. You must have seen they are called as probes. A man is wired all along on his hands, legs, chest, and all that. All these machines, then by virtue of AI system, decipher where is he lagging, and then with the help of machine-based program, that particular area is strengthened. If my grip is lacking, I've been told to do this so that grip is. If my throw is lacking momentum, I've been asked to run fast with the mass, whatever, so that the momentum. All these things are AI enabled in not even a single domain to the extent of cooking. You all must have seen somewhere in Uzbekistan. I'll give you another. This place is famous for biryani. They call it pilau, Pilaw. It is inclusive of so many meats, horse meat, so many other things. And when they go for competition to India cooks competition, the AI-based system prepares on the oven this dish and is as tasty as the dish prepared by the chef. Then you must have seen regression analysis, all these things, astrology for that matter, even applications have come for all these. They are all AI based. Your brain is such a vast thing that you have given this minor brain of AI cell to perform to such an extent that you daze. You yourself are dazed. The creator is dazed. And there are no limits. You cannot say ethical, non-ethical, because if you wanted your missile to destroy someone, there will be a guy who's having an AI with positive impact to destroy that missile. And this war, this race continues. Again, I'll quote two quotations of mine. In war, there is no runners up. Second quotation, in this age of rat race, which I told to Dr. Amir also, in this age of rat race, it is the mouse expert that wins the race. Mouse, of course, you all know, computer wala mouse, not Ganeshji wala mouse. You can say that mouse is also Ganeshji wala mouse. Because now you replace mouse by AI-based mouse and everything. Then, last but not the least, it will be the AI that will control the progression or the destruction of the humankind.